Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Ken from Back to Riding. Again, after 32 years of being away from riding, I'm back and I'm riding as much as possible. And I just got back from Myrtle Beach, a 600 miles round trip, 1,200 mile trip down for Bike Week 2021. Had a great time. And if you check my last video named Wild Hogs, or maybe not so wild hogs, we had a great time, but I touched upon the Lexin communication systems for a second, but I wanted to go over that one more time. Because in my first Lexin communications system, the Lexin B4FM communication system, I was pretty brief on that in my review, and I used it. I used the communication system between me and my wife, and so we're not screaming and yelling. We're going down the road, and when I wear mine, it's usually on my helmet like this, half helmet, with the muffled mic blowing in the wind. This little piece here definitely helps knock down the wind that you're sending through the microphone system and all. So it does come out clear on the other end. But I'm dealing with my wife and I back and forth, front and back, just so we're not yelling. So for that kind of thing, is a pretty good system. But I didn't know how it really worked on the road when we're really out riding. And a friend of mine bought his. He bought the Lexin ET Com, I believe it is. I'll show a picture of that in a second. But he bought that system, and the two of us didn't know if they'd even pair up. So we just started riding, and we got down to the Delaware, Cape May, Delaware ferry, and we got on the ferry and decided to see if we'd pair up the systems. And they actually worked pretty good. Again, I have the Lexin B4FM Motocom, and he has the Lexin ET system. Again, not knowing if they'd even pair. He didn't even know I had one, but we paired the two systems. It's a couple of buttons. We had to erase the memory from my system to my wife's communicator. Had to erase that. That took 2 seconds, and then had to pair it up with my friend's system, which is it's the Lexin, but it's a different model, and maybe 10 seconds to put it back together, to pair them. So 620 miles, I think it was, all the way down to Myrtle Beach with these communication systems that we never tried. I never tried beyond this helmet to helmet, biker to driver to rider, passenger. Now we're 100, 200 feet apart, riding down on two separate motorcycles. Now, granted, he had a full face helmet, so he could hear me clear as a bell, he would say, because his helmet was completely on, covering his entire head. He could hear much more clearer, I believe, than what I could hear, because I had the half helmet. But I'll tell you, up to 60, 65 miles an hour, I didn't have a problem at all. And I have fairly loud pipes, not super loud, but fairly loud pipes. And even with the half helmet, up to 65 miles an hour, no problem at all hearing them. After 65, a little bit of a strain, depends if I'm also getting wind, I'm getting other noises from trucks in the area, that type of thing. But when we were on some of our back roads, 70 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour, could hear every word he said without a problem. Could hear him sneeze, could hear him cough, could hear him breathe deep. Very happy with these systems. When we got down there, we met up with two other guys. They came separately, and then we all four rode back together on separate bikes. We tried our damnedest to get two more of these units to ride back with, and we couldn't figure a way. None of the vendors, we're down there at Bike Week, none of the vendors sold anything like this. Maybe one vendor sold like the most expensive unit out there. It's like $250 for one unit. I got this. I got the B4FM. I got it on Prime Day, 2 units for $119. Typically $150 for 2 units Prime Day. So I got them for about $60 a unit. My friend got his for about $60 a unit for the single unit. But again, what a way to ride. 600 plus miles, no hand signals, nothing. Just, hey, need gas? Yeah, I'm good. Hey, you got to stop? Yeah, I'm hungry. Okay. Hey, pull over here. I just need a break. unbelievable way to communicate back and forth. Hey, turn left up here. Not a problem whatsoever. So I might have given them 3.5 stars out of 5 in my first review, but I got to give them probably like 4.5 or more stars for the way this system worked there and back. So more than 1,200 miles. Our ride down was 16 hours. Our ride back was 15. The batteries lasted the entire time down. Charged them up overnight. Rode them back 15 hours, an hour less. Not a problem. So 16 hours of battery time with 2 guys riding. Love the system. I think if I go with a full helmet, which I doubt I will ever go on that long of a trip, 600 plus miles, with a half helmet again, after being in the pouring rain for an extended period of time, and just the highway speeds for long miles and miles and miles of highway speeds of 70 plus miles an hour, just blowing in my face, just beating the heck out of me. So I think I'll go with a full helmet for the next long ride. But around town and everyday use, half helmet is the way I like to go. But I know if you go with the full helmet, usually you don't put this mic in here. It doesn't have the muffling piece on the end. It just goes inside the helmet. It's really tiny, but you don't need that muffling device because you have a full helmet and you can speak pretty clearly. Again, my friend had a full helmet. I had a half helmet. I'm explaining this to you so you can understand where I was coming from. My friend had a full helmet, so when he spoke, I had no background noise from him because it was inside his helmet. And when he listened, he could hear me clear being sealed inside his helmet. When I would listen to him, I would have the background noise of my louder pipes and the environment. But when I would speak, he could hear me perfectly clear because of that little muffling device on the mic, the wind reducer, whatever you call it, on the mic. He could hear me absolutely loud and clear. And again, I could hear him loud and clear up to 65 miles an hour. Anything over that started getting a little tough, but I could still hear him and could still make out what he was saying. I might have to say, excuse me, because I wasn't paying attention for a second, but the second time I got every word he said. Really happy with this system. Really excited about using it again on a long trip. Can't wait to take another long trip. This was my longest trip ever. I think the longest I've ever been away from my house. The farthest distance one way was 100 miles. This was 620 miles one way. Plus then the whole week we're driving around down to Myrtle Beach. So, but 600 miles one way, 1,200 round trip with this communication system. I recommend it to anybody. Loved it. Thought it worked. Ease of changing what we wanted to do. Ease of pairing it to a different system. Ease of erasing the previous system. And just ease of use going down the road. Loved it. 4.5 plus 4.75 stars, whatever you want to call it. Definitely 5 stars. Would have to be, the wiring would have to be a little bit better quality. But again, it does its job. It does its job perfectly. I just think maybe a little cheap in the wiring, but definitely you tuck it all up into the helmet anyway, so it works really well. All right, until next time, I'm going to send, let me throw that picture, if I didn't do it yet, throw the picture of my friend's unit in here so you can see the difference and understand that we didn't even know what either one of us had. We just figured we'd see if it would pair up, and it paired up in less than 10 minutes. We were paired up and able to talk for the rest of our trips. All right, have a great night. Please like and subscribe, check out the rest of my videos, and hope to see you again. Thank you. Have a great day.